Hi and welcome to GB Boxing and Fighting Irish. And the first interview we have on our new channel is the winner of the Boxer series from a few weeks back, Mr. Dylan Cheema. And I had the great pleasure of seeing him fight in Coventry a few weeks ago, and it was brilliant. And he basically stole the show with his antics and his wonderful entrance. And orange was the order of the day. And for once, there was an Irishman that absolutely loved orange. So, very welcome, Dylan.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, it's great. And thanks for coming on. So, how's life been since you've hit the high life with Sky Boxer? Because winning it on Sky has to be huge.
Yeah, definitely. Like it's always a fighter's dream, isn't it? Biggest platform, biggest night, biggest opportunity is to be on Sky, and that's what everyone dreams for. So to get that opportunity, to get that chance, and then to relish it and to win is something that I could think of in my wildest dreams, and we got it. But it wasn't without the hard work and dedication that we put into training over the 15 years that I've been training in martial arts in general.
Because if I remember correctly, and there was other fights on that evening on other channels, but everyone had turned over to Boxer by the end of it. But Ryland Charlton was heavy favourite to win that, and you met him in the final, and I mean it was clear by going into the final round that you were winning this, and Ryland had to basically knock you out. But it was a ferociously wonderful fight, I mean, I suppose the style adds to it, the short rounds and the kind of, the limited number of rounds. But it was great fun. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I did. Do you know what? It's crazy because you build it up to be in your head and you think, oh my God, I've got to fight 3 times in one night. You've got to get yourself up for a fight 3 times. But it went quite smoothly. It went quite quick. We were so calm all the way through that we weren't really phased or really bothered by the whole big TV. I just felt like I was walking into another ring that I was going to face an opponent in. All the crowd and everything else and the big cameras there. That sort of went to the back of my head because I knew there was still a job to do at hand. So, having Ryland in the final, we knew when the draw was chosen, draw was picked, that he was probably going to be the one that I probably could face, in the final, being the favourite and the type of fighter that he had and the fighters that he had on that side of the draw. Obviously, I probably had the tougher side of the draw, but I was confident that I could beat anyone in the tournament. And
you certainly looked confident, and your confidence came through in your boxing. I mean, there was no fear against Ryland. I mean. It was great, and I certainly enjoyed it because I'm trying to remember now I think it was BT had something that night, but it was so bad.
DAZN had a Conor Ben show that night. That was it, yeah. Conor Ben
was in Manchester. Was it that bizarre? I think perhaps all 3 had something, but yeah, DAZN had the Manchester one.
Yeah,
and but it was great. Really enjoyable.
Crazy. It's crazy to know and crazy to understand is that Conor Ben being the superstar in the UK market that he is, and obviously world ranks and everything, that I trended higher than him on Twitter and social media and stuff. That's crazy to me because he's well established, and then yet people are looking at this little kickboxer from Coventry.
Phenomenal,
Yeah.
But Sky did the Sky thing, and it was the whole shopkeeper by day, boxer by night.
Yeah.
So are you actually still heavily involved in the shopkeeping trade?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I did work full time for another business as well. I've since given that up since my last bout in June, so I've given that up now. But I do tend to help out a little bit here and there. But because I've been in and out of camp, pretty much in camp all year round, my dad does give me some time off when it does come to a training camp. And I do go in, for a few hours on the weekend, but I'm not as much involved as probably I used to be.
Yeah. No, it's great because I remember seeing the little, kind of a slice of life kind of preview that Sky did, and it was you in the shop, and I was thinking, oh, that's so awesome. But I mean, I know how Sky marketing works, so I was wondering how true is that, or how is it, but obviously it was. I mean, you were heavily involved. You're less so now. and Coventry. Coventry seemed like a great night. Like, I mean, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good. I've never fought in Coventry in 15 years of kickboxing/boxing, so it was good to have that first big fight night back in Coventry, and then have it on a big stage and bring it all back and be my first hometown fight essentially.
Yeah, because you won the crowd over. I mean, you were the #1 superstar for them.
Yeah.
Sam Eggington is as crowd friendly as they come, but they were all about you, Dylan. And it was great. And there's one guy, I think, is he your uncle? That was very enthusiastic near the corner.
Yeah. That's my Uncle Baggy. Yeah, he's the story with Uncle is he's been there since day one. He was my first ever kickboxing coach. Took me
Awesome.
and loads of other kids, my brothers and his sons and his cousins, everyone. So he took a whole car of us every day, drive an hour after work to take us training, then train us, then drive us all home after. So like he really is one of those unsung heroes that people don't give credit.
That's brilliant. That is just so good because it reminds me when we were little and we used to all go to rugby training in the back of this guy's massive Audi.
Yeah.
There was 20 of us in it. Like, now I wasn't very good because I have zero sporting ability, but I love all sports. I love boxing and I love rugby, and there's so many sports I love watching. I love Arsenal, of course. I didn't particularly like football, but you had to pick a team, so I picked Arsenal, and I think I for a while there it was going very, very good. They're in a bit of a minute, but I mean they're not Coventry City. Do you support any football team or?
Unfortunately, well, I did used to follow Coventry. I used to go to the games regular, but since kickboxing and boxing's taken lead in my life, I probably stepped away from watching.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't tend to follow the team, but if someone said to me, "Who's your team?" I'm a hometown boy through and through, so I'll put Coventry all day.
Well, that's wonderful to hear. And do you like any other sports? Do you like cricket, or do you like rugby, or do you like?
Yeah, I mean, I do like to go to cricket, T20. Now they brought the new 100 series out, so them sort of shorter format games.
Yeah, because even I find them much better, because that Test cricket can just be drag on,
Yeah, it is for the purist of cricket. Cricket fans. So to be honest, I do enjoy all sports. Like, do like a bit of F1 as well on the weekends, or a bit of athletics here and there. So we've got Commonwealth Games.
Because watching the athletics there was great, and I mean, come the Olympics, like, I mean, we're all experts at track and field all of a sudden, and we're all experts at diving. Oh, that was definitely flawed there. Yeah, he definitely, or the ice skating in the Winter Olympics. Because we know all about that.
It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah.
But and the Women's World Cup is on, or not, European Championships is on at the moment.
Yeah.
And England's doing very well. They're in the semi-final now.
They are. I think they had a fantastic game the other day. Was it against Spain? I think, where they pulled back a good win, and it's in a lot of good press around that. So
and is a great Arsenal player, so obviously,
there you go.
Backing her.
So I think, do you know what? I think the European Championships at the minute, or the Women's European Championships, are creating a real buzz around the country at the minute, to be honest.
Absolutely. And you've got the Commonwealth Games coming up now.
Yeah, we have.
I take it you didn't take part in the Commonwealth Games.
No. As a pro, I don't know if we're allowed to, but
no. But you didn't. You weren't much. You weren't.
I wasn't. I know. I've never had I've had one amateur bout when I was at university.
Yeah. So you were a kickboxer.
Outside of that, I was never.
And I don't think kickboxing is in the Commonwealth Games. I don't think it is.
Okay. It normally is.
Oh, is it?
It normally is. Yeah.
Kickboxing.
Yeah.
All right. I thought it was like what's that called? Taekwondo and stuff.
Yeah, you have Taekwondo, karate, jiu-jitsu, judo, all that's all in Commonwealth Games. Boxing's in Olympics and Commonwealth Games, I'm sure of that.
Oh, no, boxing is, but kickboxing, I mean.
Kickboxing, sorry. No.
No. Thing is, that's what I meant.
I was going to say, yeah. Kickboxing, the trouble with kickboxing is it's just too many different organisations.
It's a hybrid of the sport as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's sort of in between boxing and Taekwondo, but it's the... I don't know. Maybe it's too similar to boxing. Maybe, and it's a little bit.
And then you've got MMA kind of coming in from the other side, like.
Yeah, I don't know whether MMA will get past purely because of the brutality of it. maybe it's not as
So would you fancy an MMA fight?
not personally, no. There was a time when I was 16, I think, started doing a bit of wrestling, and quite enjoyed it actually. And came home and asked my parents if I could, kind of go towards this MMA and little mitts and start pounding each other, and they just battered me off. So from then, I just not really interested.
I
I'm
think you
just
picked the
sticking
best
to my
sport
boxing.
anyway. So I'm completely biased, but I think you picked the best sport in boxing.
Yeah.
So what do you hope to achieve from all this? You've got this wonderful Sky contract. How far do you want to go? What's your aims?
It's as far as I want to take it. We work hard day in, day out in the gym. We got our resting, don't get me wrong, after a fight, but we do work very hard. So my short-term aspiration is probably to achieve probably an English and hopefully a British title soon after. And obviously, winning the British then gives you that pedestal to start pushing on to world, European and then world honours.
Yeah.
So
But like
you don't get into boxing just to start, just to say, oh, I want to become an area champion, or I want to become you want to do it to achieve the highest of highs. So, for me, it's to get to that English, British level and then push on and then get those big fights in Vegas and take
but
a
I take it
big
you will
crowd
go
to
through
Vegas.
the area level fight. Like you will fight for an area level title first, or are you going to go straight for the English title?
I would love to. I think it's the route that that Boxer and Sky want to plan out for me. The next 18 months are going to be interesting for me in that I'm all about developing, getting the right rounds under my belt, getting the right experience there, and learning more about boxing and picking up the relevant skills to then start pushing on to titles. So,
And
but when those shots come at the end of next year, then we'll see what route that Boxer want to put me on.
And isn't it wonderful as well that Boxer are kind of starting afresh, so they're looking for fresh new talent, and you just happen to be there at the right time, and you seize that opportunity.
Yeah,
by winning that tournament. That they've got obviously they've Caroline Dubois and they've Chris Billum Smith. They're all fighting in Birmingham at the weekend. I noticed they have a few Hennessy fighters. They're using a few Hennessy fighters now on their boxing card. The McKenna brothers, and obviously
they got lots of Sam Egginton,
Sam Egginton, yes, sorry,
and a few others. Yeah. So I think they've got some sort of agreement in place. But if it wasn't for the Boxer series, I don't think Sky would have picked me up, and then they truly missed out on a little gem.
That kind of the prize for winning. You'd get a contract with Sky.
The prize was 40 grand.
No, but
obviously, I always said that the contract and the opportunity that they could give was going to be bigger than the 40 grand itself. Yeah,
like it was opening doors, and you saw that opportunity, and you went for it, and you really went for it. Like you absolutely took on the world that night.
That's it.
And it was great. No, I was mightily impressed by you. And then because I remember when I bought the ticket for Coventry and I was going over, and I said, "Oh my God, the chap that won the Boxer series is on it," And but you just stole the night that night with your ring entrance and your fight, and it was great fun.
That's what we tried to do.
Yeah, because young Aaron McKenna was fighting, and he did an enjoyable fight. It was on quite early, his fight, but obviously him being Irish and I being Irish, that was good too. So, and I was talking with them guys, and it was brilliant. And I was talking to so many people that night. Everyone was so
crowd. It was a lively crowd. I think.
Well,
people really from all over.
I mean, between yourself and Sam Egginton, I think you had the lion's share of that crowd that were just willing you on, man. It was brilliant. And it was very, very good. So basically, then what else do you kind of hope to achieve in the future, inside outside boxing? Or here's the thing, so 5 years time, where do you want to be? There you go. That's what I asked.
Yeah, that's a good question, because my life's changed so much as it is in the space of 4 months. But I would like to be a world champion. I'd like to have fought, boxed abroad, boxed at a big night in Vegas, a big night in New York. I want them sort of big nights, because I think I'm sort of gaining that crowd, and the community are really getting behind me from all over the world. So I'm having big asks to go to
But
India. I'm
you're a
having big
popular
asks to
young
go to
fighter. I
Canada.
mean, it's easy to sort of follow you because you're an enjoyable fighter and you're a very, you know, pleasant, agreeable chap, and everybody wants to shout for you. Like you don't play the bad guy.
Yeah.
You really play the guy that everyone wants to win.
I mean, I'm only just being me, so
Yeah,
if
but that's
people
what I
enjoy
mean. But
me
that's
being
what I
me,
mean.
that's great.
People like the realness of it. Where I'm not
Yeah,
saying it's a persona you're putting on, but just by seeing you come across as such an amiable, nice chap that people generally warm to you and want you to do well. So I really hope you get that international
thank you.
title fight in New York or in Vegas, and you do Coventry and the UK proud, and I'll certainly
Thank
be
you.
cheering you on. But no, that's great. Now, here's the thing I've asked, and I asked the American, and he didn't. He told me he didn't follow boxing outside of fighting himself. But do you have an interest in the sport of boxing outside of your own boxing?
Yeah. I watch a lot of boxing.
Well, who
And
is your favorite
it's
boxer?
at the minute it's got to be Shakur Stevenson. The way I think it was his last performance against Valdez, the way that he boxed and controlled that fight really, for someone that's so, you can technically say he's fairly young in professional boxing, but he's so experienced. His ring generalship and the way that he controls the fight is like second to none. So he's definitely like
Absolutely.
one of my favorite
Yeah,
fighters
I've
that
penciled
I
him
like to
in
watch
to
at the
be
minute.
a future, a genuine all-time great. You know what I mean? Not one
100%.
of these everybody's a ghost. No, he will be.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And a
But
British
I do.
fighter that you like
Yeah,
watching.
that's it. That's it. I mean, I just love watching boxing through and through. I watch pretty much any fight. Saturday night, I'm sat there from 7 o'clock when I'm not training in front of the TV, just watching all the fights that I can, because I genuinely just to enjoy it. And you can always pick up stuff, no matter if it's a fighter that's boxing early on the card or later on the card. It doesn't matter. You can pick up from all. And my coaches learn from every different type. So if someone's doing something well over in MMA, it might be about warm up. It might be how they make weight. It might be how they do certain training stuff. We'll use that. It depends on weightlifting. They might do a certain technique that might be useful in boxing. Neck exercises we get from F1. So we use literally
Are you a
anything
Lewis
from
Hamilton
everywhere.
fan or?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I mean, obviously he's done. I think this season he's not doing as great, but
Yeah.
obviously look
But he got his
look at
podium
what he's
again at
done.
the weekend.
Mm.
I mean, like, the other cars have come on, but I mean, 7-time world champion. I mean, not many can
Yeah,
say
it's a
that.
big feat. It's a big feat, isn't it? So
Yeah,
he's definitely doing wonders as well.
absolutely. And so what's your favorite fight that you've seen in boxing? What was the boxing fight that you went? That's brilliant. I'll watch that again.
Castillo Corrales always sticks in my mind,
Oh yeah.
because
And the great thing is,
that's just a straight up war, like from the start.
yeah, the great
But
thing is I have Now TV at the moment, and they
yeah,
have Top Rank's back catalogue on it, and I'm
okay,
just watching all those fights, and it's so
yeah.
brilliant.
I mean, back in those like early 2000s, 2010, that sort of like between that sort of 2000, 2010, there were some wars. Pacquiao was in a number of those. I watched Pacquiao, Morales,
Mm.
Pacquiao Barrera. I watched, to be fair, I watched quite a lot of Pacquiao because it shows like I watch Pacquiao Morales one before every fight that I go in. So Saturday night
So
before
would
my fight,
Pacquiao
I'll
be your
watch that.
idol, or would he be your?
Yeah, I think I quite obviously his story's something, but his
Mm.
boxing style is something else. The way that he went from being such a small boxer to then jumping all the way up and boxing up at super welterweight is crazy. Because for
Absolutely.
someone his size, he shouldn't be boxing guys that size, but he's
Yeah,
doing it, and he was beating like
yeah. I
quite a few
remember when
top
he
tier ones.
absolutely, annihilated Ricky Hatton.
Oh yeah. I mean that was a sad day for Britain, because obviously Ricky took over like 20,000 fans or something. He pretty much packed out the MGM back in that day, which was mad because no one else had ever done that.
Yeah, because I actually went to Mayweather Hatton,
Yeah,
and
he did the same then.
I'm a huge fan of Floyd Mayweather. Like that's who I was ultimately going to see. But Ricky was great. Now Ricky brought a great crowd and it was brilliant. But Floyd's just genius shone through. You know.
I mean, you always have like world class boxers, and Ricky was a world class boxer, and then you have elite, and there's only so many elite boxers out there, and
Yeah,
you know,
and both Pacquiao and Mayweather were both elite boxers, you know, and unfortunately they didn't face each other in the prime, and that was a
no,
disappointment.
I think Mayweather probably played the right fight. That he didn't need to scrap.
Oh
He
no,
didn't need to
Mayweather
get
is
into a
very
war.
clever.
He made it his fight and controlled. He ultimately controlled that fight all the
Oh
way
yeah,
through.
but that's how he does it every time. Like he's always in control, and people say, "Oh, he's a defensive boxer," but he's so ruthless. Like when he wants to end it, he can end it. You know.
Yeah,
Like
that's
even the
it.
spar he did with what's his name, the MMA fighter Conor McGregor. I mean, that was pathetic. But the second he wanted it over, he ended it.
Oh yeah. It was just again likes make it looking like a fight, make people get their money worth, and then put the show to finish. Like when he boxed Maidana, obviously, you know, he took he took quite a few in that first fight, and then people were saying, "Oh, we got robbed this that," but I think he said it right in that people always think if he loses 1 or 2 or 3 rounds, people think that he's lost. It's just people hating on
Yeah,
Mayweather,
it
and
is.
that's
It
always
is. I
been the
mean,
case with him.
listen, he's not the most pleasant of people. You know, he's not like you at all. You know, but you have a very pleasant personality in it, whereas he just doesn't. You know, I mean,
Yeah,
Pacquiao does. Pacquiao is
yeah,
always, he was the people's champion.
100%.
Uh, whereas Mayweather was just out for number one.
Yeah,
Floyd Mayweather looks after Floyd Money
he
Mayweather.
comes. But yeah, that's the best
Mm.
way to put it.
But yeah, no, that's absolutely great. So and anything else you'd like to add as at the end of it then?
Nothing really other than that. Look, thank you to all the support. It's been crazy. It's the last few months have really blown up. Obviously, my social media's gone crazy, and and
You've
genuinely
always
when someone
weirdos to
does message
Ireland
me,
looking for interviews.
and genuinely when someone does message me, I will always try and reach out and
I know
reply
you were
back
very
where I
good,
can.
I have to
Yeah,
say. Like, I mean, and I mean, you won. I mean, I really enjoy boxer, but seeing you in the flesh in Coventry and the crowd and everything, you really just won me over.
thank you,
It's like this guy's great. I want to see him again.
thank
But
you.
the next fight I'm going to is Canelo Triple G.
Nice,
Yeah, in the
nice.
um
Vegas.
in the T-Mobile Arena in
Yeah.
Vegas, and because I'm saving up. Well, I'm not really saving. I kind of went to the bank and asked for a loan, so I'll be paying back that for the next little while.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. But I really enjoyed Coventry, I have to say, and everyone asked me, but Coventry that night was really good, and it was a mixture of the boxers and the environment and everything, and it was just great. But you definitely stole the show with your ring
Thank you.
entrance and everything, and
Thank you.
you were definitely the star of that show. Well, anyway, Dylan, thank you for your
Thank
time,
you very
and
much.
best of luck in your next fight in Birmingham. It is Birmingham,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's it.
and that's on when Saturday week.
Yeah, this Saturday, 30th of July.
Oh, so you're fighting in Birmingham the same night the
Yeah,
show's
so
on
there's a card. So Sky have got a card on in Bournemouth,
in Bournemouth? Yeah.
down south. So they unfortunately they had no space. I wanted to keep busy this year.
Mm.
It's only 4 weeks ago that I boxed last time, so Sky didn't have no space on the card for me this time. So we just agreed that I could take a fight away from Sky and get a non-TV bill, which they were happy to do.
Yeah.
And then we took this on. So I'll be back on Sky back end of the year, and I want to get another 2 fights in by the end of the year to close the
Absolutely
year out.
crazy. Like we were just saying that Adam in our kind of discussion. I mean, fighters that fight 4 times a year or more, six, say. I mean, it's a better place to be, especially when you're at the early stage of your career
That's it.
and
That's
learning.
it.
I mean, it's great. So I'll definitely well, I unfortunately I won't be in Bournemouth either. I'm actually going to Lady Gaga, would you believe, on Saturday.
Nice.
So I'll
Enjoy it.
have I'm going to the Arsenal friendly in the Arsenal Stadium, and then I'm going to see Lady Gaga in the Tottenham Stadium. But the last time I was in the Tottenham Stadium, Arsenal got spanked by Tottenham, and that was the end
Oh
of first place.
no. to bring
But,
back some bad memories then.
But I'll definitely BoxRec will tell me straight away the result of your fight. Well, maybe not straight away. Whenever they get sent the results, they'll have it up on BoxRec. So I'll be watching out for that. So best of luck Saturday. Don't get injured because we want you back on Sky so we can see you fight again.
Definitely.
And so best of luck Saturday. Take care, buddy.
Thank you. Have a good night. See you later.
Bye bye.